Okay, and when you accept a bill for value, what are you doing? You are essentially discharging the debt, because that bill that they're saying you owe, it's already debt. It's being passed, it's debt that already exists. It's being passed to you in your name, in your corporation name. Not even this, it's not even coming to you as a beautiful infinite being. It's coming to your corporation name, your name in capital letters. You have to recognize that a corporation was created in your name at birth, which is why you have a birth certificate. Why do you even have a birth certificate? You don't need one. You're born, you're here, you know. But the reason you have one is so that you could be part of this slave system. Okay? So when you recognize that you don't want to be a part of that system anymore, what I did was I started accepting bills for value. And I'm accepting bills for value that come from corporations, that come from financial institutions, banks. I'm not going to accept for value something that if I owe an individual money, I'm not going to say I accept that for value. No, I'm going to pay them with my credit card. They get paid. So let's say someone comes over to my house, a handyman, has to fix something, and they now say, you owe me $200. Okay. I'm going to pay that person with a credit card. Okay. And that credit card is debt. It doesn't even, there's no money in it. It doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's fake. But I'm going to pay them with the credit card. They get paid $200, right? And then later on, I get a bill from the bank, from the credit card company saying, you owe me $200 plus whatever interest. Okay, well, that's where I accept it for value. The guy, the handyman, got paid. The handyman got his money. He did his work. He put his heart and soul into the work he did, and he got paid. That's a person should be paid for what they're doing, right? If they come in and work,
that's
they
right.
should be getting paid. But I'm sticking it to the bank. I'm not, accepting this false structure of time and money that's coming from the bank or the credit card company. And that's where I'm accepting it for value. So what you do is you stamp, I made a stamp that says accepted for value. And, it's a self-thinking stamp like that. Or you can write it. You can write it down. Basically, I stamped the bill, accepted for value, and I write some other words on it that I will explain. Okay? And I'm accepting a bill for value. I'm not paying money to this corporation. The handyman got paid, right? The handyman got paid his $200. He's happy, and I'm happy, right? But by the time the corporation comes around and says, hey, guess what? You owe us $200 plus the interest. That's where you can accept it for value, because they are operating in debt. They don't have any money. That bank does not have money.
Exactly.
They are passing debt back down to you, saying now you owe them money, but that's debt. So that's where you discharge it. So it's basically stopping, it's a stop to the system right there, okay? And you stamp it, accept it for value. You write a few other words on it, which I will explain. And you mail that payment coupon back to the credit card company, and you're not sending them any money, okay? They're not gonna like that because they want money.
Exactly.
But let me tell you something.
A big but.
It doesn't matter. It is a valid, lawful transaction.
That's awesome.
What was that?
Yeah, I said that's awesome. Valid, lawful transaction. Yep, that's awesome. Yeah, just saying, like you said, they will, obviously.
It is a lawful remedy.
Right.
Research it.
Yep.
Now I want to also say a couple things about doing this. I am not doing this for purposes other than bringing forth heaven on earth. I'm here to get rid of time and money. I don't want to be rich and there's people on the street that can't even find a place to sleep at night.
Exactly.
Okay, that's not what I'm doing. I am getting rid of a system that is corrupt. But why is it that way? Because we've accepted it. And the system is actually hoping that you're going to be doing this. Okay, you're going to get positive reinforcement for getting rid of this virus. You're going to find that you actually get access to resources to do this in ways that you will be blown away.
Wow.
Okay, so while the credit card company doesn't like not getting paid, you're likely to start to see some positive results in your life in other areas that are, really benefiting you and your loved ones.
Right.
Okay. So you're discharging debt that already exists. Don't think of it as, oh my God, I didn't pay my bill. You took care of it, accepted for value, basically just it's over, right? It's done. You've accepted it for value and you mail it back to them and it's done. They're going to look at that and they're going to be upset and they're going to send you, oh, you didn't make your payment. Now we're going to charge you a late fee. So they're going to send you another bill. Fine. Accept it for value and send it back.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
You have to be consistent. You have to be strong. And you have to not have any fear that anyone is going to come out after you. Okay? I would not recommend you do this if you fear collection agencies, if you fear police officers or whatever, I don't know, whatever, authority. If you fear these false representations in our reality, I don't recommend you do accepted for value, because what happens is the credit card company is going to put you into a system where you didn't pay them the money. All they want is your money. They're operating in debt, but they want your money. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have money, but they want your money. Okay? It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
And if you accept those terms, that you're never going to get out of it. So what I'm doing is I found a lawful remedy. Now, I'm not just ripping up the bill, throwing it away, and hoping nothing happens and saying I'm not going to ever pay a bill ever again. Okay, you have to deal with it. You have to deal with it, but you have to stand in truth in what you're doing and be confident that what you're doing is a valid transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you never want to accept this notion that you are in debt, because what does that mean? If you're in debt, that means you didn't pay your bills, but you did. You accepted for value is the transaction. Okay, so there's all these, so you will get phone calls from credit card companies. You will get letters, and I never talked to anybody at the credit card companies. Right. I did the first time, and I learned my lesson. Like, these people don't know anything.
No.
You're talking to computers.
Like you said, yeah.
Programs.
Yeah, what are they going to get?
All they think about is, we want your money. There's no way. Yeah. So I get phone calls all the time. all day long. If I don't recognize that number, I don't answer. And guess what? They don't leave messages because it's a computer. You're in a system. You're in a computer system. You quote unquote didn't pay your bill. So now they're calling you, they're coming after you. But what is coming after you? It's a computer. Okay, they don't even, there's nothing there. There's nothing to be afraid of.
It's kind of funny if you think about it.
There's no one there. What's funny is...
It is. It's like, what, you know? Like, what? It's like an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants or something, you know? Freaking no blood to spill. Okay, this is Lindsay and Dan here. Yeah, but that's where we come in, you know? We're putting a threshold on this, you know? Like, we got to be the ones to say something, do something, like, because if we don't, you're right. And that's what we are doing. We're standing firm in truth.
So, yeah, last time we talked, we were talking about time and money. And I left off at the point where I had explained that I did accept it without
Documented.
older quasi-limited videos that we all watched probably a very long time ago. See?
Probably like 8 years ago, roughly.
So why are we paying? Why are we paying for water? Why are we paying for food? Probably like 8 years ago. Why are we paying for all these things? Why are we paying for the basic necessities, this global economy? Just like we had accepted lots and lots of lies in all areas, right? Everything you know is a lie.
Yes. Everything is the reverse of truth.
Yeah. And when you're silent, everything is the reverse of truth. Exactly. So your silence is consent. So when you wake up and you wake up to flat earth, you can start unraveling all of the lies. And one of the biggest, most controlling, difficult lies that we have to shed and then subvert and basically reverse to spin it back on itself again is time and money, right? That is the biggest, probably most controlling virus that we're all kind of grappling
susceptible to. Yep, because you're going to go to work on time. You're going to pay your bills on time. You're going to pick your kids up from school on time.
Right.
Like everything, yep. It's all woven into our reality, time and money. And money is the money sign is the sign we were born into. We weren't born into sin. We were born into sign. It's the sin wave, the sine wave. Right. They were mentioning with the wave of the money sign, like there's something to do with that too, like with the sine wave, you know, with the money, it's a currency, you know, like it's deep, you know, and the only real currency that we know and that we have is our spiritual currency, which is our blood, you know, and that goes way deeper than what we're talking about, obviously, of time and money, but people need to realize, like, your only real currency, your true currency is your own blood.
Right. Right. Except no one will ever tell you that, right? No one will even understand that. It's not until we came to the realization of blood over intent that we recognize what the true currency is, and everything will change in your reality after you go through that.
Yeah, and it's not a bad change. It's a change for the good, you know?
More than once after that.
Right.
You should do it.
You should. You should want heaven on earth. You should hold Mark Brown's here in the flesh.
Right.